And then what are the things that you learned along the way while adjusting within your culture, if any? Maybe it was easier for you and you didn't have to adjust, or maybe there was something that you
Well, I wasn't culturally shocked. I would say that I was not, um, except that where I come from, the environment was far more protected and healthy, and then I was really surprised and not shocked but surprised to see all of that back then. All of, the issues with drugs and all that stuff to me were very foreign, and then it was quite an issue for me to come to grips with and understand that how people were handling it and so forth, because it's something that I was not accustomed to see at that close range. Back then, I recall, during my first years with the Army, back then drinking beer while you were driving was normal. And I recall one time coming up to my section sergeant to complain that some soldiers were smoking pot in the parking lot. To me, that was, was what is going on with this?
So how did you adjust to this? Did you just close yourself off from what was going on? Did you maybe, took a different view at it or something? What was that facilitated your adjustment to the new conditions that were not so healthy and so protective as they were affecting you?
Well, the first thing was to realize that I did not need to accept it, and happily so, there were other initiatives towards that end to make sure that those things were handled appropriately. So that kind of helped me go along the way, because I didn't feel like I was in the wrong, out of step, out of sequence with this situation. I felt that actually I was as impressed as many other people were, and then realizing that and understanding the magnitude of the problem and the solutions helped me just put it behind me and move on and hopefully, get going.
What would you say the main differences in doing business between the U.S. and Costa Rica?
The laissez-faire, like the French would say. It's an economy driven by supply and demand, more so than anything else in the U.S. In Costa Rica, it's been more somewhat protected or protective nature. There are many government controls well established. There are a number of economic and political reasons for this. It's not casual. There's no comparison in the size of the economy and the resources available to one and the other. One is merely I'd say subsistence level almost economy, and the other one is one of the leading economies in the world, and the roles are completely different. So there are many differences, substantial differences.
You say is there more regulations back in Costa Rica?
Sure, and more protection for imports and exports, more tariffs, and less free trade agreements, and mainly the main difference is the quality and the quantity and the type of resources available. It's a totally different set of circumstances. One is a very small economy, mainly dependent on traditional products. Never mind that one of the not so traditional products, as tourism and ecotourism in particular, took the number one place as a national source of national revenue, whereas in the U.S. tourism and ecotourism and that industry, the entertainment industry has a different view altogether.
Right. Okay. So looking back, what factors do you attribute to your success in the U.S.? I know you mentioned hard work, but was there something else that you think, features of character or events or circumstances that helped you succeed in this new environment?
I have to honestly say that success is a very blurry line because once you accomplish what you wanted, more often than not, you are supposed to formulate what is next. So success is a concept that could be looked at in many levels. But that philosophical view aside, I would say that I have been able to meet my goals as a combination of clearly improving my proficiency levels in the different aspects of the business I'm in. Specifically, there are business competencies that one needs to understand very well in order to be able to use them to reflect on the bottom line of a business. And similarly, you cannot be all business like if you don't have a clear understanding of what is your product line, or what is your industry knowledge level applicable to the business that you are into. So it's a 2 or 3 prong approach to this, and if you are talking or thinking of the bottom line, then the bottom line is specifically affected by your proficiency, and then that's where your proficiency in these different areas, and that's where I focus my attention, my effort, in being as proficient as possible in what matters for my industry. And then that is, I think, applicable to other industries, whatever your industry is.